Welcome back to FordeeTV. I'm your host, Fordee. So today I was working on a video for my art tutorials. I have another YouTube, Instagram, another business. I paint and I sell artwork, but I also do tutorials for other artists to follow along, etc. So anyways, all of my tutorials, usually I add 3 audio effects to any clip that has the voice that was either recorded from a camera, sometimes right now, like being recorded from a USB mic when I'm doing the tutorial, to make sure, number one, I drop out the low end. So I add a channel EQ, taking away 150 hertz. I then drop in a denoiser to make sure I remove any ambient sounds in the background, and then I compress, right? And I thought, there has to be a way to save all 3 of these presets into like an effect rack, something like you would do in Ableton Live, for example. And there is a way. I don't know how I didn't know this. I've been working with Final Cut forever. In fact, I know it like the back of my hand, and I didn't know this. So I said, let me put together a tutorial real quick. So let me show you real quick. I'm going to select this clip right here in my timeline. Forget what's on it, and I'm just going to show you how to do this. If I come over here into my effects pane, I'm going to search channel EQ. As soon as I find channel EQ, I'm going to drop it on this clip. Next, I'm going to find my denoiser. I use the Isotope RX8 voice denoiser. I'm going to drop that there. Next, I'm going to go ahead and drop a compressor. And these are the 3 things I normally set on any clip that has audio. I'll come up here to the inspector, make sure the audio is selected, and I'll scroll down and I will make some changes. Number 1, in the channel EQ, I always drop out the low end of about 150 hertz to make sure it's not muddy, etc., right? The denoiser, I usually leave it at the default unless it's super noisy, because the default is a good amount of noise reduction while keeping a good balance and not making things sound tinny, right? In the compressor, I usually go ahead and the threshold, who knows what that's going to be set at. So I'll leave that there because that depends on the level that's coming in, along with the input gain. Maybe I bump that up. Let me bring this up a little bit. Maybe I change the threshold per clip and the input per clip. However, the ratio, almost always at 4 to 1. As far as the makeup gain, I have that set to 0 dB. I have a fast attack, and I put the release to auto. And then the knee I leave at 1. Next, I always turn on the limiter. I set my threshold to minus 0.3 dB. And this is the basic setup for almost all of the audio on my tutorials, right? So if I have this clip selected that has these 3 effects applied, I can go up to File and Save Audio Effects Preset. When I do that, it's going to ask me what I want to save. Well, I want to save the effects, the channel EQ, etc., everything I just applied, right? And I can name it here, magic, voice, effects, whatever I want to call it, right? Then it says, what category do you want to put it in? I can put it in any of these right here, right? I'll put it in custom, or I could select a new category. By the way, custom is the category I created. I'll go ahead and click custom. I'll click on save. And now if we scroll down here and we find under audio effects, custom, and I remove the word comp from my search term right here, you'll see I have magic voice effects or voice clip effects, right? And so if I come back over here to this clip, I'll go ahead and delete these effects that I have applied to it. I'll go ahead and press delete, and then I'll drag this magic voice effects over, and look, it applied all 3 of those effects. Just to verify, I'll click here to bring up the inspector for this particular plugin, and we'll see the ratio is at 4 to 1. The limiter is on. It's at minus 0.3 dB. So it saved everything. What a time saver. The same thing would work for video. So for example, if I go ahead and I'm going to delete the stuff because anyway, I finished with this video, so it's actually, I don't need it, but let's scroll back up. Go to the all video and audio, or just the video. Let's say I always add a color board and I always add 50s TV, for example, right? And let's say those 2 effects, while having this selected, I could come up here to File, Save Video Effects Preset. It's then going to say, what do I want, right? Well, on this particular clip, I had a shape mask. I already had a color board and sharpen. Let's say I just want that color board that I applied, the 50s TV, and let's say YouTube example, right? And where am I going to save that to? Let's save that out to color, right? I'll click on save. Now, after I do that, I can scroll down here to color, And what do we have at the bottom? YouTube example. Let's say that I want to delete this. If I right click on this and go to reveal in Finder, boom, you're going to see any effects presets that you've saved. You can go ahead and delete them here. So for example, I don't need this YouTube example. I don't need the magic voice effects because I'm just using this voice clip effects, which I made earlier today. And I found what a time saver. Guys, I hope you found this tutorial helpful, useful, etc. Please share the video with your friends, like, subscribe, comment, you know the drill. Until next time, I'm out.